Could you briefly introduce your professional background and current position, and what is the size of your company?
All right. Hi everyone. Morning. So here's Aladdin. So you guys can just call me Aladdin. So basically my company's name is Aladdin Education Technology Company. So I'm actually the CEO and also the co-founder of this company. So we mainly focus on the helping students to study abroad, and right now we're based in both Malaysia and China.
Okay. And next one, how do you formulate the short-term and long-term development plans for your company?
Currently in our company we have two different directions because we have different projects right now. We are moving on. So the first one, I think for the long term, like the university collaboration. So basically one project we will start from last year, the whole year. So that can be the long-term project. But for short-term project, it actually depends. For short-term project like the single student application or the student counseling, so we will ask a different staff to handle different projects. All right.
Okay. How do you adjust business plans to cope with uncertainties? For example, frequent changes in study about policies, pandemics, and international relations.
So it actually happens once, before last year. You know the COVID-19. So actually during the COVID-19, the study abroad education is pretty easy because a lot of students, especially the workers in China, so they want to enhance their education level. So they are willing to study abroad, especially they don't have to go physically abroad, so they can just study online. So during that time, the CSSE, the Chinese Student Services Department, after COVID-19, they are no longer accept this online study mode. So it's kind of challenging for us. The biggest challenge that we are facing, because a lot of students in our project, they are no longer accepted or no longer verified by our higher education department. So we have to be careful about our contract between the students, and we have to notify or warn the students in advance. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How do you collate the responsibilities and tasks within your team?
Well, this actually is a good question, I think, because for my own point of view, I believe we have to set up different works based on different people's personalities and their different characteristics. So I believe that different people, they have their own strengths. So in my company, we have a little girl just graduated from the university. So we ask her to, because she's really positive and she's really well-being and easygoing, so easy to communicate with others. So we just let him to try the the counseling for the students, because she also graduated from Malaysia University. So I think she can deal with it, especially for the communication part with the students, because she's also the senior for all the students, our customers. So this kind of employees right now we have pretty much. So we just ask them to do their, the job they are really good at. So do not try to give them the hard work at first, because at first they have to see how to improve the most improved way they can get the fast way. So I think so that in that way they can get more energy or get more strengths or beliefs. Yeah. so they can get more motivation. Yep.
Okay. Next question. What is the corporate culture of your company?
So it's a long story actually. So for our slogan is actually let every student have the university to go. So it's our actually the first slogan. But Malaysia is actually a special country that compared to those developed countries like UK or American. So in Malaysia, it's actually a development country. So here the economics is not that high than those developed countries. So especially the cost here, the study cost is not that high. So our second slogan I can say that is let every middle class families they have university to go, especially they can study abroad. So I think that's our two slogans, and also the last one is actually for our services. So we will try our best to give the best services for our every customers, every students. Yep.
How do you motivate your team to maintain high service quality and a high pressure environment?
Yeah, actually right now it's actually the high rate application period because our marketing is actually based on in China. So every June, every year after June is our busiest period. So because Gaokao, so we have to be prepared after Gaokao because a lot of students, a lot of graduates, they're going to consulting with us, consultant with us. So in this situation, we have to be ask every employees, every consultant to be prepared. That's so I believe the most easiest way is that we have to set up the budget. The bonus motivation. So that I think that easiest way because every our staff once they done the services for single student, we will provide extra bonus for them. Other than their salary. Yeah.
Okay. How do you monitor service quality, such as student application outcomes and client satisfaction?
Okay, that's also another good question. For this one, I think it's the most important thing in a company, in a service company, because we provide the services, we provide the counseling for our customers. So the best strategy for our company is to try to enhance our services continually. So in this way, I believe, in my way, I will pass the interview form or interview like a Google form to every customers after our employees done the services for them. So we will ask them to give the feedback to us to try to see how they feedback, how they mark our services, like how you see our the online counseling, how you see our once they arrive to the different universities, we will provide the pickup services, also the accommodation services. So we will try to ask the students to give us the feedback so that we can enhance our services dependently. And also we will ask them to mark different counselors services points, like 1 to 10. How many marks you want to rate this counselor? Yeah, so that we can enhance the counselors' professional the professionalism and their motivation. Yeah.
Okay. What core abilities do you believe are most practical for managers in study about industry?
So I believe that there are 3 points actually. So the first one, we have to be very professional. What's going on with this career and what's going on with the current situation, like what is happening in Malaysia. We have to know the policy in details, and we have to follow up every university's policy, like the admission policy, because they will change every semester, they will change every season, so we have to be notified. And the second one is the management team. They have to be, especially for myself. I always told myself we have to be learn and to be self-learn. Everyone should be a self-learner. So we have to learn and we have to study every time. And also, as an international company, I believe every single staff in our company, especially the management team, we have to be, at least we can speak English so that we can communicate with the overseas universities. Yeah, and I think that's also another important point for a reference.
Okay. As a manager, how do you balance high intensity work with personal life?
Yeah, that's actually a lot of people asked me before. So how to balance your work and life? That's a very classical question. So before this, I went to Australia to study for my master degree. So during that time, my company is still moving on. So we actually can move a big step during that year, but I just went to Australia to do my master. So that year, I can see it's always difficult for a normal, ordinary people to balance your life and work. It's very hard to do because you cannot do everything well. You cannot do everything that's so successful or so well. So you have to give up a few points. Like during that time, I just gave up a lot of program or projects that we are moving on or we are doing right now. Because I have to graduate, because I have to finish my study. That's the most point. So you have to know what is the most point, what is the most things for you, for the right current situation. So in that way, I just give up a lot of work so that my team, we just hire a lot of employees. And also you have to during that time, I just asked my co-founder my two co-founders help me to deal with a lot of projects. Yeah.
Okay. What significant trends have you observed in the study about market in recent years? How do you respond to them?
Okay, that's also a good question. So we believe that there are a lot of business mode in this career. So we believe that especially in recent years, in the recent 5 years. So the population in China, especially every year, the students attend the final examination. I mean the national examination, 高考. The population is still increasing. So we have to treat this career very well. So I can see, especially for Malaysia, it's increasing job. So we can see the population is increasing year by year. So especially for Malaysia marketing, it's not like UK or American, because we can see there's a lot of policy that made by Donald Trump. So they're going to set up a lot of policy that they refuse study. They refuse the students to go to America to study, especially for Chinese students. So that's actually a big chance for us, because those who failed to go to the developed countries to study is our marketing. That they can be our customers. So we have to catch up this opportunity. Yeah. That's my point of view.
Okay. The last one question. Do you think traditional study about agencies will eventually be replaced by online platforms or DIY applications?
Yeah, that's also a good question, because we can see right now there are a lot of influencers. I mean, the YouTuber or students, even a lot of students, they are doing this job, this agent job. They just post a lot of video. They just post a lot of notes on the red notes, 小红书, and also TikTok, Chinese TikTok, Douyin, and a lot of social apps. So it seems like everyone can do this kind of agent job, but I don't think so, because in this counseling job, I think the most co-competitiveness is that you have to be rich. The experiences, you have to be rich, and you have to deal with a lot of cases so that you can gain those experiences. And also, the connection with the overseas university is also important. I don't think that every single students, they haven't even graduated from the university, they can deal with the build up the strong connection with this university, because we have covered for more than 5 or 8 years already, but they just start this business. But they can simply provide the counseling services because they are truly study here. But I think to help the student to do the application, you have to have a lot of experience. You have to know the admission policy that made by every universities. So that's the most important thing. And for DIY mode, I can say that it depends on different customers' choices. They can choose. We don't mind, because we also believe that there's always got customers that will choose maybe the better services, maybe the more professional company, institutions to do this work, because it related to their real life. The education is not like a kidding, so it will relate to their the following half of their life. So I think as a institution or agent company, we have to learn from our own, and we have to learn continuously. Yep.
Okay.
I think that's all for.
That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.